because I was in the worst moment of my life, like financially, because I wasn't playing, I wasn't doing anything. I was already working with something else. And I sold like all my equipment. We were in the studio already, like met Chris Martin. We already talked for a few minutes. And the main moment I had this thought about like, oh my God, I'm working with Coldplay. It was when he went to the piano and started like playing and singing live like the song, because we were thinking like what we were gonna do with the song. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is happening.
Powertools. It's Powertools, and we got Zerb in the house. How you doing, my man?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's good to have you. You're doing some incredible stuff, man. The last couple of years, man, has been an amazing run for you. You got collabs with Coldplay, Dolla, Wiz Khalifa, Chainsmokers, your song Mwaki. I mean, 500 million streams. I mean, it's just crazy everything that's happening. You're from Brazil, which is amazing. Talk to us about how you found your passion for dance music. Like, where did that spark come from? We all have that entry point, like a song or a DJ we saw. What was that for you?
Yeah, for me, I was really, really young. I was 14 years old, something like that. And I remember I was in school, and I started to listen to dance music. At that time, I remember it was the same year that Skrillex was releasing like all those like big tracks,
right,
like
all the dubstep.
Oh yeah, he got like all the Grammys and everything, and that was like really, really new for me, especially like in Brazil. That kind of sound wasn't like. Nobody was listening to that.
Right.
So I remember I was just like really curious, and one day a friend of mine from school, he got in school and he told me that he found a program on the computer where you could make dubstep. I was like, okay, let's do it. And when I started like trying to do anything, I figured out that it was really, really hard.
Right.
So yeah, but since that I started just producing because I was listening to electronic music in general and just like, okay, what can I do? Like how I do this, how I do that, and that's how I learned, and I never stopped. It's been 12, 13.
Right,
yeah.
That's amazing. So you started off young, and like one of your first big moments, you did a bootleg remix of Zoo's Faded with Vintage Culture.
Yes.
And that's the first time I kind of heard your name and Vintage Culture's name, and I was like, this is dope. Like, how did that change things for you? Because that was kind of like your first record where DJs were playing, right? You saw other DJs playing.
Yeah.
How did that change things for you?
It changed, like, was the first time that my life completely changed from like what was happening, because I was just studying, and a week later I was traveling all over Brazil doing shows.
Right.
So yeah, it was a crazy moment for me, and it was kind of like the beginning of the new electronic scene in Brazil, where like new DJs were coming up, and vintage culture got really huge there in Brazil. And so it was a special moment. It was a lot of like changes in my personal life.
How did you guys connect for that remix?
I sent him a DM on Facebook at that time. I was just like, I started this idea, let me know what you think. And he answered like, oh, I love it. Do you want to like finish together? I was like, yeah.
Dope. I mean, that remix is sick. I mean, that came out in like 2015-ish, around then. Yeah. And like you said, that kind of, for me, that started putting, because I realized, like I did, like, oh, these guys are from Brazil. Like, Brazil's doing house music. Like, I won't say it was the beginning, but it was part of the Brazilian movement.
Yeah.
That we definitely see today. That's huge.
Yeah. I think it was the beginning of this new generation of Brazilian producers, and it's already been 10 years, so it's crazy.
That's crazy that's been 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, now your single Mwaki with Sofiya Nazao, over 500 million streams. I mean, the tune is a classic now. When did you know that song was big? You can't say after I finished I knew it was big, but there had to be a moment like Either you heard it on the radio. When did that moment where you go, oh, this song is different?
Everything happened so fast. Like I made the song, it was a really good song, but you know, like you never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Like,
right.
Of course, like for me, every song that I release, I think that it's gonna be the next big hit. But like I remember, I think the main moment was the song started like from like overnight getting a lot of traction because of people posting on TikTok and Instagram Reels the songs, and I think one of like the first big moment for me was when I heard Pete Tong playing on the radio and like talking about me, like this is a song from a Brazilian. I was like listening live, and that was like the first moment I was like, okay, this never happened before. And then we started like getting all the charts, like #1 in global charts, like general charts, you know, like with all of these different, like all of the songs that I was listening to the radio, because it was funny because at the same time Mwaki didn't got big in Brazil.
Right.
Like, everywhere in the world it was playing on radios and everything. So like I was in Brazil, so I couldn't, you know, like feel the because I like I can imagine if I were, I don't know, like here in the US or in Europe especially, I was gonna listen to my songs like every time I go out. It's still like today, if I go out like in Europe, I listen to my music like in playing like local shops on the radio, and that never happened for me in Brazil. So it was, you know, like it was a little bit weird for me.
So it was, and when you made that record, you just made that in your home studio, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I had to sell, like, because I was in the worst moment of my life, like financially, because I wasn't playing, I wasn't doing anything. I was already working with something else. And I sold, like, all my equipment because I was, like, I had to pay, like, bills. So I was like, okay, now I have to sell this, like my MIDI keyboard. Now I have to sell my speakers, and the only thing left were my headphones, because I could like still like the same headphones that I was like playing and producing, you know. So I made it on my headphones.
That's crazy. Now, so I think I read that the vocal was in a sample pack.
Sample pack, yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
You just found that vocal in a sample pack. And then how did you connect everything? You guys reached out to her and found out who was singing?
Yeah. I already reached out to her before releasing the song because I wanted to know what the lyrics were about, of course, before like releasing. Because but when the song started to get big, we reached out to Sofiya to ask her, like, the song's getting bigger, do you want to like join? And and she was completely fine with it. She came into the song, put her name on it, credits and everything. So because it takes a lot to make a song get that big, there's a lot of like work that we all did, me, her, our teams, and she helped us a lot.
That's awesome that you did that, because there's been a few big records that have come out. They didn't bring the artist on from the sample. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing that you brought her on. So now this record blows up. You have all these opportunities. You're doing a big collab with Coldplay. I mean, the song Feels Like I'm Falling in Love. When you're sitting in the studio with Coldplay, what's going in through your head? You have to be like, oh, I'm in the studio with Coldplay right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what I thought. But I remember like when I got that thought, we were in the studio already, like met Chris Martin, we already talked for a few minutes, and the main moment I had this thought about like, oh my God, I'm working with Coldplay. It was when he went to the piano and started like playing and singing live like the song, because we were thinking like what we were gonna do with the song. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is happening, you know.
That had to be like a surreal moment for you, right?
Yeah.
Because I know the 12-year-old Zerb isn't going, you know what? Just give me 15 years. I'm going to be in the studio with Coldplay.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But the 12-year-old Zerb is very proud.
Yeah.
That,
I wouldn't imagine, I think.
So you grew up in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Talk to us about how being in that city, being in Brazil, really inspired you as an artist and as a producer.
I think the main thing is that Brazilians, we like to party, you know? So it's, especially like in my family, my parents, they taught me about like how it's important to celebrate everything in your life, even the small things you accomplish. It's always like time to celebrate, to be grateful about what's going on. So I think maybe that helped me with sticking and like keep trying for all those years, you know?
Right.
And
because more of the celebration is like, I have a new release. It may not be big, but let's celebrate the release.
Yeah, everything. Like,
right.
Everything that you do, I think is taking you to somewhere. And I think like that thought of like celebrating and partying and having a good time, you know, it helped me to just do the best I could. And I think that's the main thing that Brazil inspired me.
Okay, so like I feel like from 2020 to 2000 and maybe 23, you're producing all different styles of music, right? You got some like tech house, some future pop, even some acid, and then you land on Mwaki. Do you feel like you had to produce all those different sounds to finally land on that record? Because that record has all those different influences on it.
Yeah. I think like being an electronic music producer, what happens, we like the main sound always changes. So you're always like kind of like trying to find your moment, and most of the time you're just late to the party. And I think especially like those time was during the pandemic,
right?
And which we didn't know what was going on.
There's
when
no
we would be
open.
back.
Right.
So what happened was I was okay, this is the time for me to experiment and at the same time do what I love the most. And like it took a few, of course, like a few years to understand what was going on. But Mwaki, for example, came out in an EP, which was like the true Zerb sound, like what I always wanted to do, what I've always loved. That's on that EP, and it worked. So I think it's like because I didn't had to worry about getting booked to clubs and everything. I was like, okay, I don't have to do like club tracks or anything. I can just do whatever I want.
Right.
And it worked.
Right.
So
and at that point, you were ahead of the party.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So let's talk about one of my favorite tunes from you, 24 Hours in the Disco, with Channel Tres and Kiki Gyan. That tune is so funky. Talk to us about that inspiration in that collab.
Yeah. Basically, I heard the original song, which is a song from the 70s from this artist called Kiki Gyan.
Okay.
And I always loved the song, very disco 70s song.
Right.
And in 2022, I was in London. I was doing a show there, and I went to this like vinyl store, like record store, and I saw the vinyl for the album that has 24 Hours in the Disco. I was like, yeah, this song is so good. I should buy this disc. But I was like, okay, I don't have like luggage or anything, so I decided to not take the disc. And I went to Ibiza later, and I was like, why didn't I buy? Because it's so good. I should have buy. So I decided to just like sample and do a version, just so I could feel like better. And I made I made that version, and it took a few years to release. We got in touch with Kiki Gyan's family, and they were super easy to work with, and they wanted to release. They loved the song, and we released this
awesome.
new 2025 version 50 years later of the original song.
Wow, that is really, really cool, man. I had no idea it was an old sample. That is really, really cool. I gotta listen to the original now.
Yeah.
It's
really good.
That's amazing. So you collab obviously with a lot of different people. What do you love about the collab process?
I think what I love the most is working with artists that are from different genres and trying to make like kind of like a zone where they feel comfortable on trying something new and exploring new sounds. For example, the song with Location with Dolla and Wiz Khalifa, it's dance song, and they're rappers, and like, okay, how can we like bring their sound to my sound, and it works both for them and for me, and that's what I love the most. What I love, it's like later seeing a video of Ty performing the song live on his show, you know, like in the middle of like a lot of like raps and hip hop, he just go like turns like electronic song and everybody's jumping. That's what I love, I think.
That's amazing. Bringing different worlds together
Yeah.
to kind of collide. That's really cool. I mean, your latest single, I think you're doing that on Space with Odeal and Victor Ray on Third Brain. I mean, that tune is a vibe. Talk to us about how that came about.
Yeah. I was doing a writing camp in London, summer 2024, last year. And and I had this session with them, with Odeal Victor Ray and Ian Kirkpatrick, which is an amazing producer who produced Don't Start Now from Dua Lipa and everything. Like, so I was really excited to the session because it was a lot of really good artists in the room, and I was kind of like nervous. And we got into the room. I started like showing them some ideas. I had the idea for Space. They loved it. We started like writing, and I remember at some point one of the girls that were like working on the camp, she went to the studio to ask if we want like coffee or something like that. It was in the middle of the night. She heard the song and she was like, "Oh my God, this is the best song I've ever heard." And she left the room. A few minutes later, everybody was knocking our door, like to listen to the song, like other producers, people that were working there, managers were like, "We heard that you guys are making the best song. Can we hear it?" We were like, "Okay, yeah." And and we spent the whole night, I remember like 3 a.m., we were recording Odeal's beautiful voice, doing like stacks of harmonies.
Right.
So it was, and we made the whole song in one day. So it was like a really, really special song for us.
That's amazing. So what does Zerb have cooking for the rest of 2025, but more importantly, 2026? What's going on for you? Album, what do you got in the works?
We have a lot of singles coming out. We have also an EP idea.
Nice.
And the main thing, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. There are a lot of really good and big collabs, which I love.
Nice.
And
can you mention any of them yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Fair enough.
but it's gonna be big.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm exploring new sounds, exploring how can I use the Zerb sound that everybody knows, and bring something new. So yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff coming up.
That's amazing. And you seem like the person that loves being in the studio and creating. Like that's I'm sure you love DJing and performing, but you really love the art of creating music.
Yeah, that's what I love the most, I think, in my life.
Right.
Making music.
You could tell. It comes through in the music that you are producing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Well, it's awesome having you on Powertools, man. The stuff you're doing. We're looking forward to the collabs next year, and thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Powertools.